everyone, it's Shotzi for the Rough Cuts. Middle of the week this week. I just got back from seeing 21 and Over. This was written and directed by John Lucas and Scott Moore, both of whom wrote The Hangovers Part 1 and 2. However, 21 and Over is neither The Hangover nor The Hangover Part 2. It isn't Harold and Kumar, nor is it even Superbad, but it's kind of playing into that same theme where you have special events. In this case, there's a guy who's turning 21 and he's just been kind of on the straight and narrow, so his friends believe, and they want to take him out, show him a good time. However, the next morning he's having an interview to get into med school. So they're like, hey, you need to have this one big hurrah. This is only happening once in your life. You need to do it right. And so they go on their little adventure, which was supposed to just consist of one beer and that was it. But of course it doesn't. So it opens up with the bare backsides of Miles Teller and Skylar Astin, both clad in only tube socks, and they have brands on their butts, and you're just kind of like, okay, it's gonna be this kind of movie. What am I in for? So there's a whole lot of male barebacks, or some boobs in here, but it's mostly them losing their clothing, and a lot of items being affixed to male genitalia. That happens multiple times in this, but it's done in a funny way. Those are actually some of the funnier moments in this movie. The jokes are all just kind of hit or miss. Some parts are really funny, other parts are just kind of like, yeah, whatever. And it's like they're trying to throw in things that should be somewhat offensive. I guess it's because they have Chon in as one of the leads, and since he's Asian, they're like, oh, okay, well, we need to have some more diverse humor in there. So they have like their whole like ethnic thing, Serbians, and the Jewish jokes and the Asian jokes and all of that. So I guess they just have to like try to cover all of their bases. But it was sort of unnecessary, and it seemed really forced. But the characters are kind of likable enough. You've got these three friends. They were all friends growing up. Then they kind of grew apart after they graduated high school and they left for college. Now they're all 21 at this point in time, and they're about to go their separate ways. And they realize that they're all complete strangers to each other. And in this magical night, they suddenly get reacquainted and realize why they were best friends to begin with. So it's a pretty predictable movie. You don't really need to see this in the theater if you haven't gathered that from watching the trailer. And I've said this before about, I think it was Freak Dance. This is one of those movies that's going to be slated for Sunday afternoon on Comedy Central in like 8 years. And that's probably the best place to watch this movie. Wasn't that great? Really predictable. Some of the moments are really funny though. Some of them are funny. Has its highlights. But it isn't like consistently funny like you had with The Hangover and the other big films of that whole genre. So 21 and Over, wait until it comes out on cable. Don't really need to see it in the theater. I will see you all next time. Until then, goodbye.